Hello, in this section we shall be talking about the Illuminati, who are in direct conflict with us, that is, humanity. At a period of 12,000 years ago, that is around 10,000 BCE, in the civilization that you have all heard of called Sumeria, there was the genetic hybridization, the genetic mixing, in other words, which created the life forms, the physical structures of both the Illuminati and humanity. The Illuminati were genetically created with a higher percentage of reptilian genetics compared to their mammalian genetics. Humanity was created with a higher percentage of mammalian genetics compared to their reptilian genetics. This ensured that the crueler, more violent, more militaristic, aggressive, more materialistic, selfish, and incredibly dominating, suppressing and enslaving power systems and power structure of the Illuminati would fully take control and supersede any influences from humanity. In other words, reptilian consciousness at a very earlier period, thousands of years ago, through the consciousness of the Illuminati themselves, dominated and enslaved mammalian consciousness, that is, of the perceptive collective thinking processes of us, that is, humanity. The introduction of the Illuministic systems, such as money, such as regulation, military structures and military control through warfare, armies, navies, was all built through the development of city-states, of provincial systems of monetary control, of intense regulation, and the use of priests, priesthoods, and a very enslaving, heavy vibrational system that has continued in its present form all the way through to today. All that has changed is the names of the civilizations, the different belief systems, worship systems that the Illuminati have all very cleverly created and have presented to humanity as their own belief systems, and which most humans have followed. And so we see that there is a direct genetic difference between those that rule us and those that are us, that is humanity. And we are directly opposed in many ways to the actual very essence and the perceptive existence of the Illuminati. They do not like humanity very much. They regard themselves as genetically superior through bloodline, selective breeding, and through the legacy of continual warfare, bloodshed, conflict, human suffering, as opposed to illumin and therefore enlightened progression of their control structures over thousands and thousands of years that has culminated over the last 150 years to perhaps going back even to a period of 200 years ago of what they call the Novus Ordo Mundi, the New World Order. And this was the culmination of their plans, the culmination of their planning, their social engineering, to completely manipulate into complete and total enslavement every aspect of the consciousness of humanity, in other words, mammalian consciousness, becoming permanently enslaved and suppressed under a reptilian consciousness, systemic structure of destruction, of warfare, and of incredible poverty, suffering, and misery. Now, why we have tolerated attracting the Illuminati to control humanity is to be honest, is really the only question that needs to really be asked by people today, the citizens of this planet. And we really need to ask some serious questions why most people deny the existence of those who rule them, who manipulate them into behaving, thinking, speaking and acting and in ways that are not natural to your own well-being, and is presented to you through incredibly subversive and perverted forms of multi-level frequency mind control. And I've already gone into discussing the various types of media. Now, the Illuminati at all costs want to hold on to power. they are terrified of losing power, because if they lose control, that is endgame for them. Their very existence is to play the victimizer over humanity, whereas humanity's role is to release itself from the bondage of mental and emotional, spiritual and intellectual enslavement to the systems of social manipulation and control of the Illuminati, and to rise out of the ashes of all this suffering, of monetary control, division, divide and rule, and behind it all, the base and incredibly negative emotion of fear. Because the entire system that we live under, especially in the Western world, is geared completely to a resonance, as I've said before, of fear. The Illuminati know this and manipulate this to their own ends, and as I've said also, they are highly intellectual, and in many ways they are more intelligent than most of humanity. Again, this goes back to the fact they have a higher proportion of reptilian genetics, while humanity has a higher proportion of mammalian genetics. And therefore, the system that we live under, the vibrational perception of that system, is actually essentially completely unnatural. It's an artificially created system to suit the Illuminati and their Novus Ordo Mundi. And eventually, they are also looking to create a completely collectivized worship system with the abolition of all other forms of worship systems, belief systems on this planet, to be recreated in what they class as the Novus Religio Mundi, the new world binding. And this will bring all the different nationalities, ethnic groups and worship systems together under their system, and that is Lucifer, Lightbringer. And that is essentially what they are planning at the moment with the incredible warfare that you see going on this planet. Most people are incredibly frightened to do anything, and that is in an outer world, in the outer perception, is creating an appearance of laziness. People aren't lazy, but the Illuminati know very cleverly how to continually suppress mammalian consciousness while allowing to bloom and blossom the power of their own reptilian consciousness, and to keep enslavement and fear-based social systems of division, of pain, of hurt, and continual daily, rigorous routines of people going to work every day, working themselves till retirement. This is all deliberately being created, and it's used as diversions of exhaustion, of tiredness, of draining the energy of humanity and keeping it in a state of monetary bondage and monetary enslavement for their fulfillment of their plans. In the next section, I am going to be talking at a level of cultural perception that has not been really given to humanity at all, apart from in stories and so-called legends from various civilizations and researchers and historians from those various civilizations that have left snippets of information. And that is concerning the development of what became known as Masoneria, which is Masonry.